Guys, I had to change. Going through the end of menopause, oh my goodness. One minute I'm sweating and then I'm cold. It's crazy. Pretty much done, I think. This has been a long time of premenopause, menopause. It's not fun, ladies. But even then, it has not been that difficult for me. And, I don't take anything. I don't do anything. So I recommend going natural. I know a lot of people take hormones, but I go natural. So, um, had a friend, Veterans Day, had a friend bold enough on Facebook to post what she believes. And I stood right up behind her. I'm like, you nailed it right on the head. She talks about how she believes guns are not the problem, it's people. Absolutely correct. Absolutely. We have no problem with criminals getting guns, right? Why should our rights be infringed upon with guns? So 100% there. She talks about how people can live however they want. But God does say man and woman from the beginning. You can choose what you want. You can choose to live in sin. I just read a book on transgender stuff, and it's really another gospel. It really is. It's people thinking that their biological body doesn't have to define who they are, that it's the mind. And like I said, we have people even thinking they can be furry animals and not even be human. It's absolutely crazy. But it's the thing that's in society. It's the cool thing to do, and it's a very sinful society we're living in, right? So this person also talked about immigrants. Yeah, you should be legal to come in here. If you were a child and you were brought in, well, there's nothing you can do, but you do need to get legal, right? Um, what else? There was a whole bunch of stuff. She had hit the nail on the head with everything, and she's very well known. So, she may be persecuted for some of her beliefs, but um, one of the things I put on there is why do we continue to live in sin, right? If we're Christians and we understand freedom, right, that Christ died for us. This is Veterans Day. We go around and we thank veterans. My neighbor served in the Korean War. We were talking about that yesterday, and I totally forgot to say thank you for serving. Every time, usually, I see a person who served, like when I was at Fort Carson last week, I was in a store, and the guy there was, he had his uniform on. Every time I see someone in uniform, I will try to go out of my way to say thank you for serving. They usually don't want to be, you know, um, what's the word? Exalted, I guess. They're usually pretty humble. They're usually like, oh, you don't even have to thank me, I'm just doing my job, whatever. But like my son, he put his life down. He put his life down for everybody. Um, and I thanked my son for that. And he's like, well, it's not like I died. And I'm like, but if you did die, you were willing to do that. And the same thing with Christ, guys. Christ died for us so that we have freedom from sin. Okay? We are not going to hell because of Christ when we believe in him. He who rejects Christ, God the Father is going to reject him. So we have an amazing hero. We think the people who served, geez, I thought I cleaned this. I keep getting something that says my storage is full. We have people we thank for serving, but ultimately Christ is the hero in the whole entire history of the world. And if he died for sin, and then we go back into sin, knowing sin, and we go back into it, have we crucified Christ again? What are we doing, right? And the whole transgender thing is a different gospel where they're like, this is my freedom and this is who I am, whether you like it or not. I'm going to be in your face. But real freedom is understanding what God did for us, right? John 3:16, my favorite verse in the Bible. God gave up his son to die for us, and whoever believes in him has eternal life. We don't have to do anything. He did it all so that we did not have to do anything to earn salvation. That is the main message. But after we are saved, we want to grow and we want to learn about God, and then that should produce good fruit. It really should. And yes, we are going to go back into sin. And I like how a pastor put this. He said, it's like living in a dumpy apartment. Take this place, for example. It's not the dumpiest, but it's not the best. And you got a landlord knocking on the door, every few weeks. Where's the rent? Where's the rent? And you're barely surviving in a place with mold. Take this place, for example. And, you have to pay just to basically, be in a place that you're dying in. And then you get a nice landlord that says, here's a perfect place to live. There's nothing wrong with this place. Come on over and it's free. That is